episode 2. Today I'll be talking about Galatians 2:12. Um, yeah, so sorry, I'm messing with this. There we go. So when I was asking about what I should talk about today, um, I got the verse Galatians 2:12, and I'll read it and then I'll explain. For before certain men came from James, he used to eat with the Gentiles. But when they arrived, he began to draw back and separate himself from the Gentiles because he was afraid of those who belonged to the circumcision group. And then later on, let's see, I'll read the next one. And the rest of the Jews acted hypocritically along with him, so that even Barnabas was led astray by their hypocrisy. So when I saw their conduct was not in step with the truth of the gospel, I said to Cephas before them all, if you, though a Jew, live like a Gentile and not like a Jew, how can you force the Gentiles to live like Jews? We ourselves are Jews by birth and not Gentile sinners, yet we know that a person is not justified by works of the law, but through faith in Jesus Christ. So we also have believed in Christ Jesus in order to be justified by faith in Christ and not by works of the law, because by works of the law no one will be justified. But if in our endeavor to be justified in Christ we too are found to be sinners, is Christ then a servant of sin? Certainly not. So, and then he said, for if I'll go to the next two because this is really key. For I rebuild what I tore down, I prove myself to be a transgressor. For through the law I died to the law, so that I might live to God. So, if he says in 18, he says, for if I rebuild what I tore down, I prove myself to be a transgressor. And then earlier in 13, he says, and the rest of the Jews acted hypocritically along with him. So there's something different about being like personal conviction to um, this is an interesting topic. And I'm not going to balance this out by like talking about verses that go the other way, where it's saying, like hanging out with people and pretending not to be a Christian. That's obviously an issue, but that's on the other side, and usually uh, the church in general tends to lean on the hypocritical Pharisaical side, where we we will not do certain things um, around people because it's not religious enough, or we will do certain things that are religious when it's not in relationship and it's not really who we are. And so finding who we are, Paul is saying they were acting hypocritically. So it wasn't actually a personal conviction they were operating from; it was fear of the Jews. And so we have some of those things culturally um, that we should examine, because there's a lot more of that in the church right now than I mean, there's a lot of both, but I'd say this is the one thing that I'm going to find this here. So he says basically, oh, here we go. So in 14 at the end, if you, though a Jew, live like a Gentile and not like a Jew, how can you force the Gentiles to live like Jews? A Christian culture isn't enough. if we force people to act like Christians, we are basically choosing to force them to live in a way that we ourselves don't really fully believe in this context. Because if we try to enforce Christian culture without actually being in Christ, then we're doing religion. We are operating a spirit of religion where it's all these works, and they're not actually building us up. We're actually building like it's basically um, a new version of the law. So we have this works based Christianity that is the modern day like Pharisaical sect, pretty much, where it's all these rules and all these laws, and it's not. We're forcing rules when it should be about relationship. And so I'm going to read 2 Corinthians 3:15. Yes, to this day, uh, whenever Moses is read, a veil lies over their hearts. But when one turns to the Lord, the veil is removed. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And we all, with unveiled face, behold the glory of the Lord, and are being transformed into the same image from one degree of glory to another. For this comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. So it says, when one turns to the Lord, the veil is removed. So people are blind until they're saved. And then once they're saved, then we behold the glory of the Lord, and we're being transformed in the same image from one degree of glory to another. For this comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. So what ends up happening is we culturally we lose track of beholding the glory of the Lord and are being transformed in the same image from one degree of glory to another. So in the same image from one degree of glory to another. So that's what we're supposed to be seeking, is what does God want me to be transformed into, so that I can be in the same image and be from one glory to another. So if we move from glory to glory, once we take our focus off that, we're starting to do what Paul was talking about, which is we try to force Gentiles to live like Jews. So we try to force people to live a Christian life when we are not even doing what we're supposed to be doing, which is seeking Him to be transformed from one glory to another. So that is not only the transformation, but that's the catalyst for other people to change. It's not me telling someone else how to live, it's God telling me how to live. And then when other people see that, then that's what they want. But if I don't have anything they want, I'm going to be telling them what they should do. It's all these shoulds. And so that's that's one of the biggest hangups that we have in maturing, is we're so busy looking at other people and we're going, they should live like a Christian. You know, even if, like, especially when they're not saved, we're saying they should live like a Christian. And that's not what he's saying. He's not saying that. And it's also giving, when he says to this day, whenever Moses is read, a veil lies over their hearts. I think in the same way, to this day, whenever you tell someone who's not a Christian, hey, you should do this because it's right, if they don't know him, you're just reinforcing a law that is death. But when you're actually saying, hey, let me introduce you to this person I know, or you're just showing it, that's when they go, ooh, like that's life. What's that? I want that. And so yeah, we need to start living it. And speaking to myself on this too, once we stop looking at all the unbelievers as the problem, we'll start seeing, oh, my transformation, my lack of transformation because I'm so focused on what other people are doing or not doing, that becomes an issue. So yeah, and it reminds me of William Branham, who he exemplified this, which was going from glory to glory. Yeah. So this was kind of a short one, but there is a soaking question. Uh, so pick whatever instrumental music you like, and the soaking question is, what glory, what place of glory do you want to bring me into next? Because the world's groaning for us to be transformed, to be made manifest. Thank you.